the Gospel Journal, Malawi, and welcome to a special edition. In the next 10 days, we are going to look at the book of Esther. And next time, we'll also take one book and we'll be able to, go through the book so that we make it easy to understand and also draw lessons. So for the next 10 days, join me, Reverend Nasa Chunga, here on the Gospel Journal Malawi, and we'll be discussing the book of Esther. And after that 10 chapters, we'll be looking at 3 days of prayer and fasting, where we can also pray together and share petitions and talk to God. So today, Sunday, 2nd of November, 2025, we begin by looking at Esther chapter 1. And I'm going to read verse number 22 as a guide to explain chapter 1. And it reads, "He sent dispatches to all parts of the kingdom, to each province in its own script, and to each people in its own language, proclaiming in each people's tongue that every man should be ruler over his own household." So, chapter 1 of the book of Esther, I will call it a chapter that is introducing a story, and we also see the cost of disobedience. So, in chapter 1, we are in the city of Susa, and the city of Susa was a big city, and the king there was King Xerxes, and the queen was Queen Vashti. So, the first 180 days of the story is talking about an extravagant display of royal parades, where the king had invited the nobles of the kingdom, the military generals, the members of parliament, the presidential appointees, PSCs in our context, of course, and the VVIP of their time. And 180 days they sat to watch royal display. And this royal display was in various fields. Technological field, they would come and display what they had achieved. Militarily, they had a military parade. And 180 days of such kind of extravagant display. Well, the king was ambitious enough. But then, as the king was doing all this side, the story in chapter 1 talks also that about the queen hosting another group, and that group was the group of women. That already tells us that in their cultural context, men and women would not mix at some events. So women were in their own camp, and the queen Vashti was there, and she was the VVIP there. So the queen hosted the banquet as well, and the king had also his royal displays. And then after 180 days, that was followed by the 1 week or 8 days of banqueting, feasting, food, drinks, wine, meat. So all that was there. But that was not enough. The king thought of bringing in the beauty pageant, and this was a beauty parade. And he thought of calling for his wife, the queen Vashti, to come and pass on a parade, beauty parade, so that the people could see the beauty. And as an announcement was made and the people were excited, clapping hands, waiting to see the beauty pageant, and a team went to inform the queen that the king had invited her to go and pass on a beauty parade. You see, the Bible in chapter 1 says when the queen heard that she was invited to go on a beauty parade, she said no. Why? Because she said she was not worthy the treatment, because she was the queen mother. And even if she was beautiful, but she ought to have been respected. She would not be called as a beauty pageant. To her, she thought she was just taken as a beauty instrument, and she needed respect. And she displayed her emotional prowess and refused to go on a beauty parade. You see, in this chapter, we see that Queen Vashti represents the power of women, that women are powerful beings as well. She knows that in the request that the king made, she had the power to say yes or no, depending on how she felt. Quite often, the feelings of women are suppressed by the desires of men. And in this regard, when the people were ready, the men were ready to see the queen, but she said, "I'm not coming." So the inner circle of the king called him and advised him that the queen was not coming. And what this meant was that there was a crisis. And this crisis would be that women would, in the city, in the kingdom, would follow suit. Men would have difficult time to control their wives because a precedence was set, and this was not the right precedence. You see what? In this chapter, we also see that men are at times afraid of women. When men meet, they discuss about women. When boys meet, they discuss about girls. Likewise, when women meet, they talk and discuss about men. When girls meet, they talk and discuss about boys. Today, in the context we are in with social media, we see these discussions, the fight between men and women, boys and girls, the two genders fight, the tussle, even in social media. You see the other camp right to say this gender is ABCD, and they also respect and they also fire back to say this gender ABCD. You see, men will expose the weaknesses of women. Women will also retaliate and expose the weaknesses of men. This is how life is between women and men. So we see in the story the balance of power being shifted. So men were afraid that if this will go unpunished, then women will follow suit and will cause problems to their husbands. So they advised the king that the queen was supposed to be deposed. So the queen was banished, she was deposed, she was no longer queen. An announcement was made and dispatches were written in all languages the people spoke of the kingdom, all parts of the kingdom, that Queen Vashti was no longer queen. You see what? What a harsh decision that was made. But that was a decision made because of the fear men had over women. I have a question today. What else are men afraid of? Good morning.